Hi, my name is Jen, and I am the voice, the creator, and the mastermind behind this new podcast. Since I am not a common household name or face just yet, I wanted to share a little bit about me, my story, and my mission for this new podcast, Can I Just Say? So, a little bit about me. I initially grew up in a very, very small town in western Pennsylvania with an emotionally immature father and an alcoholic mother. I was the golden child, the people-pleasing perfectionist, the one who did not want to be a burden on the family. So I grew up very quickly as a young child. By the time I was 17 years old, we lost my father very suddenly to cancer. 7 months after losing him, I graduated high school. And then 4 days after graduation, I married an army man who promised me the world. So at the age of 17, I was emancipated to become an adult, to be able to marry this older man. And I gave up a lot of my opportunity to find my identity, to follow my goals and my missions for myself in life, and to figure out who I was as a person, because I was 17 at the time. So I focused a lot on making sure that I could be the best wife that I could for him and to support his career. We did travel a lot over the years. We lived in many different states and a few different countries, and we got to see a lot of the world. And we did share a lot of great experiences together. By 2020, during the height of the pandemic, I consciously started going through what we are in modern terms calling spiritual awakenings now. At the time, I had no idea what was happening. It just felt like my whole world was exploding, falling apart. The things that I used to enjoy, I had no interest in anymore. I started recognizing that what they're saying on the news seems to be things that are not true. I never really cared about politics before, and then started to realize that both sides are lying. I just kind of started to get into that phase of, okay, now my identity is starting to be shown to me. So I had already been married for, 15 years at that point. When all of this began happening, I started focusing on really learning everything that I could about the spiritual side of things. I got really into tarot cards. I got into astrology. I did my 200-hour yoga teacher training. I got more into photography, which was a hobby of mine before. I really dove into the things that were helping me understand this human experience a little bit better. So some people use organized religion for that. For me, I was never one to believe much in organized religion, but during this time, I started questioning it more as well. So I was finding the things that helped me explain this human experience for myself. So throughout the years after initially starting that, I just dove deeper and deeper into it and started to find more and more that spoke to me and helped me understand who I was and what my identity was. In 2023, I embarked on my first journey with psilocybin, and about 3 weeks after that was when I decided that I wanted a divorce from my husband. So after 18 years of marriage, we decided to part ways. I knew for several years before that it was coming to an end, but because I had invested so much of my time and energy into the relationship and had given up on so many of my dreams and my hopes to support his career, it was very tough for me to let go of it. So here we are in the beginning of 2025, and we are separated. I'm living on my own. I have been living on my own for over a year now, and I'm still discovering who I am. I really am. I am still discovering who I am because I spent my first 35 years of my life being someone for somebody else. So I'm now trying to figure out who I am, and I get closer to who she is every day. I'm much more authentic and genuine. I'm starting to build lasting relationships and connections that actually matter to me, and not ones that I'm just trying to curb the loneliness in. I'm starting to follow a lot more of my dreams. I have embarked on lots of different journeys since then. I got my meditation teacher training. I am now a shaman, a full mesa carrier for shamanism. I'm kind of a Jill of all trades. I kind of enjoy just doing lots of little things here and there. I love to crochet. I love photography. I love working with tarot and oracle cards. I love meditation. I love yoga. I just have lots of different fun hobbies that I like to partake in. So I thought starting this podcast, Can I Just Say, would help me share a little bit about what I have learned along my journey over the past 5 years now of trying to figure out this human experience. Now, a lot of what I've learned has come from many, many different sources. We really don't have an original thought anymore, so when I can reference where a thought or where an idea that I have learned from came from, I will reference it and I will give credit to the creator of that. But a lot of the information that I hold is something that has been parroted many, many times, so I can't tell you who the initial creator was for that. But I will try my best not to plagiarize anyone. But the reason I chose the title, Can I Just Say, is because I have always tried to practice having a neutral approach to any situation. Granted, I get caught up in my own victim story sometimes, but I really do practice trying to see the gray areas between the black and white. Nothing is really black and white to me. There really is proof in the saying that there are 3 sides to every story: yours, mine, and the truth. I seek that truth, and sometimes it ruffles feathers. So we may get a little controversial on here, that meaning that some of my views and opinions and beliefs may go against the societally accepted norm. But now more than ever, I believe it is crucial that we allow all of those sides to be heard so that we can encourage others to think for themselves and develop who they are as an individual in the collective masses. Because I know for myself, I spent so much of my life trying to be something that I wasn't. And now that I'm rediscovering who I am and rebecoming who I was supposed to be, it's a very interesting time. It is a very interesting time, and I feel like there are a lot of people out there who are going through a very similar experience, who aren't quite sure how to understand what they're going through. So I want to be able to share my perspective on things and things that I have learned that helped me, in hopes that I can help other people. We don't do gatekeeping here. Everything is authentic. Most of these podcasts are going to be unedited. We will get into a little bit of swearing. We will try to keep it not vulgar or anything like that, but I grew up in a family where both of my parents spoke like sailors and smoked like freight trains. So we will probably get into some more explicit, and I will make sure that I will label the episodes accordingly. But we will probably get into some things that might ruffle some feathers and might trigger some people. And I use that word very sparingly because I truly believe that it's good to be triggered. But that is for a podcast that I will record in the future. But I just wanted to be able to introduce myself, and I hope that you find any of this interesting and any of it helpful for you. Please remember to not take everything so seriously. So if something I say does not resonate with you, it was not meant for you to have. There are millions of other people on all of these platforms sharing their voices. So if what I say doesn't resonate for you, then how wonderful it is to have the opportunity to narrow down your direction and your goals. Stay tuned, and I hope to see you soon.